Hello and welcome to FHSS English Language and Literature class for grade 8. In this video, we are going to know about a story which is filled with thrill and suspense. It is written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, The Hound of the Baskervilles, and it has been presented before you by Maitreyi Datta. Let's know about the writer. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was a British writer and medical doctor. He created the character Sherlock Holmes in 1887 when he published A Study in Scarlet, the first of 4 novels and 56 short stories about Holmes and Dr. Watson. The Sherlock Holmes stories were generally considered milestones in the field of crime fiction. Children, let me tell you an interesting fact that whenever Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote stories about suspense and he had a detective as a character, he always named him Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes eventually became so famous among the people and the readers that people believed him to be a true character and wanted to meet him in person. Let's know the characters in the story. Sherlock Holmes, the detective and the protagonist. Dr. Watson, his Sherlock Holmes' friend and doctor. Sir Henry Baskerville, the late Charles's nephew and closest living relative. Sir Charles Baskerville, the head of the Baskerville estate. He was a superstitious man and terrified of the Baskerville curse. Dr. Mortimer, family friend and doctor to the Baskerville. Sir Hugo Baskerville, Baskerville ancestor, who had fallen prey to his own aristocratic lifestyle. Mr. Jack Stapleton, a thin and bookish looking, but his calm facade masks the scheming and manipulative villain. Miss Stapleton, alleged sister of Jack, but she turns out to be Mr. Stapleton's wife. Barrymore and his wife, the long-time domestic help of the Stapletons. So with these characters, you will be able to understand the story very easily. The setting of the story. Based on a local legend of a spectral hound that haunted Dartmoor in Devonshire, England, the story is set in the moors at Baskerville Hall and nearby Grimpen Mire, and the action takes place mostly at night when the terrifying hound howls for blood. Let's look at the theme of the story. It is filled with natural and supernatural, truth and fantasy, deception and deceit. An example: as soon as Dr. Mortimer arrives to unveil the mysterious curse of the Baskerville, the hound wrestles with questions of natural and supernatural occurrences. Now, the mystery behind the story. The Hound of the Baskerville is a great example of how a murder can be a mystery, as the only apparent answer is an impossible one. In the story, the men in the Baskerville family are rumored to be haunted by an ancestral curse, a monstrous demon dog roaming about in the moors, seeking revenge against the Baskervilles. The plot. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson investigate the legend of a supernatural hound, a beast that may be stalking a young hare on the fog-shrouded moorland that makes up his estate. On his uncle's death, Sir Henry Baskerville returns from abroad and opens up the ancestral hall on the desolate moors of Devonshire. The main highlights of the story. The death of Charles Baskerville, the head of the Baskerville estate, which seems mysterious to Dr. Mortimer. Mortimer then requests Sherlock Holmes to investigate the case, but the letter sends Dr. Watson to Baskerville Hall to meet the possible suspects. For Dr. Mortimer fears that Sir Henry's life, the closest living relative of Sir Charles, is in very danger, and he needs to be saved very soon. Holmes, he sends Watson to Baskerville Hall to meet the possible suspects, that is, Barrymore and his wife, the domestic help, Stapleton and his sister, the convict who had recently escaped from a nearby prison. Holmes, on the other hand, had secretly visited Devonshire to investigate, and there he finds an important missing link in the case at the Baskerville Hall. He sees a striking resemblance in the portrait between Sir Hugo Baskerville with that of the Stapleton. That's an important link to the murder. Therefore, the portrait proves that the Stapleton is actually a Baskerville. And if Sir Henry is killed, the former, that is Stapleton, will be the sole inheritor of the Baskerville fortune. That is, he has a reason to kill Sir Henry. Holmes and his team now plan to catch the culprit red-handed and save Sir Henry before it is too late. How they do it, how they execute the plan, how they will work out on the plan very quickly, because Henry is already with Stapleton. Children, after this video, you will be followed by another video where you will know how Sir Henry is saved.